welcome one and all to the inaugural match of the Final Fantasy Randomizer Highlander Tournament. This is a slightly different format from what you might be used to seeing, where participants, meaning ichbinmiah and xIceblue today, get to pick the flags for the race. In this case, we had Maya, who wound up picking flags. And we are looking at some vanilla enemies, meaning their spells are vanilla, their stats are vanilla, and Ice Cave is a big hot mess of death and stun touch enemies everywhere. These spell levels will be shuffled, so we might be seeing a level 1 nuke or not. We don't know. That's what the racers opted for. XP and gold wise, Maya tried to go for LOL XP, where everything was just 5x experience plus 500, the craziest amount of yields you can get from enemies, but xIceblue decided to say no to that. So we will only be looking at doubled experience from mobs today. Weapon fixes are off, the party choice is open, but we are dealing with an entrance shuffle, which could have some pretty hilarious results because open progression is not on, so whatever's in Conaria and Temple of Fiends is what these racers will have to deal with. Meanwhile, goal-wise, they need to go through, kill the 4 Fiends, and dive down into Temple of Fiends and eventually kill Chaos. So let's see how that will turn out tonight. I'm joined tonight by Edgeworth on commentary. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well. Definitely looking forward to this match, and looking forward to a match that doesn't have LOL XP enabled. ichbinmiah deciding to veto that is going to make this a lot more interesting. And I am very curious to see if either of the runners elects to go with a 2-man strat. I suspect we may see some damned white mages, but that is just my theory looking at these 2 party counts.
Well, with weapon fixes off, the choice of going with 2 fighters is definitely not a bad one either, because they can actually deal damage, even with just an ice sword or a flame sword. And it looks like we're off, so we're gonna get our first look at Conaria's shops.
And Maya is just gonna, well, there's the ship and about 4k in gold, so nice early check.
Now that does open up all of the Elfin, Marsh Cave area, Northwest Castle, Dwarf Cave, Matoyas, and Provoca as well.
See, Harm 4 in the level 1 slot, pretty useful early on, not so much later, but you got 2 casters of Fire 3, so suddenly Harm 4 doesn't seem as nice.
Well, I guess it's an offensive spell for what I consider to be a useless character, but some people seem to like Little White Hood.
It's all a matter of whether you feel like you need life and healing to get through some of these dungeons. But Harm 4 may be a little bit useful if there's an early marsh deck.
Absolutely, assuming we find Marsh Cave though. Since we're working with Entrance Shuffle, we might just walk straight into Skyfall.
Well, I mean, early Mirage Tower, not bad there either, as long as the vampires don't kill you first.
I'm quite sure that poor little level 1 gingers with chain armor are gonna survive a vampire fight.
They could always miss.
Why am I choosing to punch some imps for some early levels? Like, can't really agree with that decision. Because you have the pirates open right now, so you could just go and get some levels off them.
Yeah, I think he's just, just trying to dig out Temple of Fiends, and is not in a good part of the encounter table right
He was just handed a spoonful of disappointment by finding Elfland Castle in the Temple of Fear. I don't know about you, but it's not often that you'll find 2 encounterless dungeons around Chimera. Like, usually you might find like a treasure trove or a Connery Castle or something like that, but the other one will usually be a dungeon. So it's gonna be interesting to see where they decide to go, since they have the entire Inner Sea open.
And it looks like Ice is going to Matoya's Temple of Fiends.
Apparently not deciding to go check some chests unless I missed it.
I wonder if he just wants to save the Garland kill and then go back in. But the dreaded take 1 step and get an encounter, that always gets you.
Every time you do it, you tell yourself, okay, I need to save as soon as I exit, but I'm gonna take just that 1 step out of reflex or something.
Yeah, the dive back, very important. ichBinmiah finding a ribbon in the bottom left chest.
That's a great early find. Don't agree with the decision to put it on the white mage, but I mean, you can always swap it.
Yeah, I think early on you need to protect the most valuable member, and that's usually whatever class is your sweeper.
Exactly. Which in this case would be the black mage. White mage is gonna find a bit more usefulness a bit later on once you have, a lot of spell charges, some access to some good safety spells for mostly boss fights or out of combat healing. But early on like this, I mean, Whitey can die. What matters is that you have this 1 round clear of any fight you're gonna encounter in the form of black mage, in this case with Fire 3.
Alright, so we have Lich and Provoca, and you bought Harm 4! This is a good time to use it!
So I think they're a bit low on levels to go fighting Lich just yet. He does have some pretty nasty AoE spells for low level cap.
Yeah, I mean the Ice 2 is definitely not something you want to run into, but I mean, hey, just clear out a pack of mummies and try again.
Yeah, Maya might have an easier time of it between the 2 Fire 3 casts and Harm 4. With the Ribbon, one of those casters should be able to survive for a second round, which might be enough to take him out. I mean, it's Lich, and it's damage 3 and 4 spells, so he's not gonna survive for 5. Whether or not it's worth the time is something up for debate, though. You can always come back later, you know what.
Yeah, it's just a matter of is the early experience going to be worth taking a tougher fight? A lot of times you can just come back when you're very overpowered and steamroll all the fiends.
Yeah, especially that deep into Earthgate. You have a couple of nasty encounters that can definitely spell trouble for poor little level 3 Lightborn. Without armor, trolls will probably one-shot anyone. Giants are pretty scary. Mummies do have sleep touch as well, and that's definitely gonna last. I think it's the right call to just keep it for later.
Alright, so a little bit of a divergence here. ichBinmiah is going to go to the Elfland area, while Maya is going to check out the Dwarf Cave.
Getting our look at level 2 magic, which in Light Magic's case is nothing interesting at all. A level 2 black has a nice little lit 2 and stun, which is a criminally underrated spell.
Yeah, I mean, once you land the paralysis on something with less than 300 health, the death is pretty much going to follow afterwards. So, as much as Quad X is beloved in the community, stun, I believe, is criminally underrated, is a good way to put it.
Yep. An often forgotten fact is once the enemy's stunned, he also takes more damage from melee attack. So on top of being the safety of you're not gonna get punched to death or AoE to death, you also kill a little bit faster.
Here, take this silver hat, ichBinmiah.
xIceblue finding out the hard way that, unfortunately, with Entrance Shuffle, the NPC reward items are completely random.
It's still a treasure chest in a convenient location, but just wish for something a little more useful.
Yeah. I didn't catch if he had any decent armor. So, I mean, it's still a nice little chunk of early absorb.
I think that was the armor that he has so far on that loot.
I'm surprised they didn't check armor shops between the three towns they found. You should be able to find either a chain armor or an iron armor.
There's a lot of wooden armor that I saw so far, but there's iron armor, right?
Yep, iron armor and Provoca. It's not too expensive. It's definitely worth the investment for mine.
Was already in his inventory. I think I wouldn't pick up the iron shields though, at the very least.
I mean, this early on, every little bit helps. Especially when you know exactly how much damage the enemies can cause.
Yeah, I mean that's the main advantage of running, say, a double knight party to begin with, is the access to that armor. And if everybody's running without armor, you better hope your sweepers can do the job, because those knights aren't going to last very.
No, they do have a lot more HP than a caster, but without absorb, you're not going anywhere.
Ooh, loose canoe in the armory.
Well, that just opens up. Oh, and a floor next to it. Well, we now have the entire map open.
Yeah, just the entrance shuffle starter kit right there.
Yeah, pretty much. So now we'll only be looking for a key, which can also be anywhere, and the chime and cube. Possibly cube and possibly chime, I should say. You need the loot and the key for double themes. That's pretty much it. Everything else really depends on the map.
And Maya is gonna dig out a power staff and run it out, presumably to sell for a bit of money. And ooh, that white magic pool does not look very good so far.
The thing to keep in mind though is no matter what the key item you find, you're always happy to hear that fanfare with these settings, because every key item is a 10% boost to enemy heals. So I mean, even if you pick up an adamant or whatever it is, you're still happy to pick it up, because you're just gonna get those levels a little bit faster.
Maya getting chewed up by a 6-pack of mucks, and I think he just gotta throw out the double lit 3 there. Not sure if he was out of those charges or not.
Yeah, mucks are pretty scary for a marsh cave enemy. We see some plays in chat on the tournament name. Unfortunately, we couldn't secure the rights to Princes of the Universe for the intro, so it'll have to be limited to text.
What's wrong with muting the first half of the I think it's worth it. So Maya taking a little bit of pause to record that canoe, and likely we'll get a kick out of what he finds next.
I mean, he might have been confident in his ability to kill the Grey Worm, so I can't blame him for running a key item out. It's a safe play, one that I should personally do more often, but.
ichBinmiah is taking a long trip to Onrak. This is not the town that you hope to find, but maybe someday it'll be useful.
That's definitely not useful in the magic department today.
I mean, certainly good news when nothing you actually care about shows up there. Always feels bad when you take a peek in there and it's like, fast? Oh, no.
Why couldn't you be in Gaia at least? Nice mermaid float sighting on xIceblue side.
Quite a lot of low effort chests, and not going to take him a lot of time to run this out, so see if he digs out anything good here.
Well, there's a cube. Cube and starter weapon. Silver Axe is not that bad either.
And a pro ring, so definitely getting there.
And a slab that'll probably turn out to be nothing, but it's an XP bonus. So, you're in xIceBlue's shoes. You have the entire map opened up. You just picked up a bunch of items in gold. What's your next?
I think I'd explore the map trying to find Elfland, because if I can find Exit or Warp, it's going to make the rest of the exploration so much easier. Level 5 Aid. And heal free. So that is a lot of levels going into the White Mage before they get particularly useful. And 2 casts of Nuke as well.
Well, level 5 isn't that bad. Though I guess for regular-sized parties, it might take it a little bit longer.
Yeah, and it's always oh, there's the chain armor finally in Melman. ichBinmiah finding Canaria Castle and probably not happy with what he got.
Yeah, without incentives, these the NPCs are about as useful as the mushroom in Zelda 3. It's just another chest, so it's likely to just be junk.
His silver hat and 2k in gold, so basically 2 silver hats. Yeah, Maya is just gonna refuse the king's offer and just resets out.
Oh, that's 2 of the Dead End Caves then.
iCiceblue is going to drop off that slab while Maya finds Ice Cave. You gonna go back in? Nope. Oh, and there's the Adamant, Flame Sword, Black Shirt, and a giant pile of money, so pretty decent stuff from the Titan this time around.
Well, the Black Shirt's gonna turn either his fighter or his white mage into yet another sweeper. So that's always a really nice find early. I prefer fighting weapons myself, but you're not gonna spit on the Black Robe nerd.
Alright, there's the silver armor. No sighting of the steel armor yet.
Silver armor is one of those things that, yeah, it's technically better than chain armor, but it's just not worth the price.
Quad X at 6, so probably not gonna get a lot of mileage out of that, unless the party composition changes a bit. But Ice is going to say, yes, I will take those silver armors.
Oh, my jumping into Crescent Lake and stealing the old man's confusion. iCiceblue about to find out that NPCs are just not really worth your time.
Yeah, it's a little bit frustrating. How is that old man supposed to buy scratch lottery tickets now?
Well, he's gonna have to wait for his pension check to kick in.
Oh, and Maya finds Matoya.
It's a nice ice sword to boot. That is actually a very good weapon. I mean, whether weapon fixes are on or off, but without having weapon fixes on, its crit rate is actually decent enough to be a serviceable Temple of Fiends weapon.
And iCiceblue right behind, so with he's gonna reset the ice sword out. Interesting. With two fighters, the flame sword and the ice sword would have been a decent combination.
That is definitely not a move I was expecting.
Ice fight. Really expecting the ice dive either. This is a pretty scary dungeon, really.
I think he's gonna remember why ice is very, very scary with vanilla mobs, because half of it has stun touch, if not more. You've got sorcerers that can transcend death touch you, and you've got frosties that will just blizzard you to death. This is just filled to the brim with nasty encounters you don't want to take.
Maya getting murdered by some peds, and here comes the mages with rum, and then lit 3 immediately after.
I'm really surprised to see ice diving ice instead of just noping out and checking out what Cardia had. I mean, this early on, you're shopping for gear, so you're looking for the treasure troves of Volcano Armory, Mermaid's Floor that Maya stepped in right now, any floor of Mirage Tower, or Sky 2F, Sky 3F. All those places are great XP, reasonably safe, and have a metric ton of check.
Yeah, and it's always nice to defer Ice Cave until you have Warp, so you don't have to do the second cycle. Even though it's a little shorter this time around, it's still a rough dungeon.
Absolutely. I've been trying to think of one nice encounter in Vanilla Ice Cave, and I can't think of it.
The Gurpede, that's really it.
Well, even that hits like a truck.
Yeah. At least it's not Rub. Or Trance, or Death Touch. Or Blizzard. I guess it's just comparatively, it's just better than everything else, but it's still awful. Oh boy, the Great Axe. xIceblue in the driver's seat now.
Oh, he's missing. That was horrible.
Ooh, good timing on the Frost Wall. The Sweeper would have died with one more Frost, but let's see what they were guarding this time around.
I think the most exciting thing we've seen out of Ice Cave right now is that Pro Game.
And here is Stone Touch and Sleep Touch.
And a ribbon.
That
ribbon isn't going to protect him from Stone Touch and Sleep Touch that much, but it's still really nice.
Yeah, just gotta make it out. Not too hard.
Yeah, definitely don't go for the floater chest, which I'm expecting him to go for, but he really shouldn't. It's just one junk chest and you found something worth saving. Just get out of there.
It's just one of the things to think about is that most of the chests that you open in this game are just not going to be useful to you. So if it's, yeah, it just if there's something good in there, just take the L and, you know, be confident that you made the right decision.
Yeah. I mean, then you might make a case for the Eyes tile. And yeah, the Eye is a great source of XP. He also has a lot of nasty spells that are going to kill level 6.
Yeah, all the Quad X's and Brax. Takes a while for him to get to Stare. And no, Ice finds, yeah, Sky 3, so there you go.
And resetting out of preemptive oracles, that's not a good idea. They're pretty free.
Yeah, you always have to test the HP on those guys. Just if they roll low, it is an XP pinata.
Yeah. Right now we know the XP on them, so... It's... well, if he hadn't reset that Ice Sword, the fighter would probably one-shot them.
There's a white shirt. Oh, and bulk mana cores.
Oh, Ice is so very, very dead.
Yeah, this is one of the, this is an encounter that you don't really like to see, even when they don't have any skills. It's just...
yeah, it's one of those encounters that... there's only one answer to it, well, technically two, but it's Nuke or Fate. Anything else, you're not gonna sweep them. And they will be a nightmare. And even if they're not a nightmare, they don't cast anything. It's still a 9-pack of mobs sucking you dry for time.
And Maya finding the star-shaped room. There's a ruby for ice. Enjoy.
Enjoy your XP bonus that comes at the cost of a messed up inventory. I legitimately don't understand the obsession with keeping the White Mage alive. The White Mage has nothing.
And looked like the sort of the free Bahamut floor, but Ice is just gonna try to make it out with the gear he dug out. And Maya finds this floor, which is terrible.
Yep. It can have some tasty sharks, but usually it's just arsahags or ghosts or lobsters, none of which are particularly good.
Temper at 7. Well, that's bad.
It's Gaia, so it's Black Mage castable.
Times 2, man. You need those charges.
Yep. I approve of any and all 2-man shenanigans. Surprisingly safer than you'd expect.
I feel like 2-man would be a lot more doable when you know what the enemies have in store. With the vanilla settings, should be a lot easier to execute.
I'd argue the vanilla settings are, for mobs anyway, are usually worse than completely.
Yeah, I would agree with that, but I think at the same time, knowing what you're up against is definitely an advantage. There's just sometimes when you get to the bottom of the dungeon and you take a nuke to the face, there's really nothing that you can do against that. But if you know what's coming, you can at least plan a little.
Yeah, I mean, once you're into Temple of Fiends, you know that the Black Mage is going to die if Lich decides to cast nukes.
Exactly.
Try to work in a Gurvadusa to get him stoned.
Oh, Maya finds some Breakfast at level 3.
The best spell level.
And White Magic has Life and Exit, so there you go.
And we can't discount Ruse either. Especially in a 4-person party with 3 mages, having the White Mage just evasion tank in the second slot isn't necessarily a bad idea.
And there is Life 2 and Cure 4, so a lot of utility for the mage, but not gonna get any sweeping done.
Well, apparently Elf and level 4 magic is the Costco of curative spell.
There we go, we've got Warp and Zap as well, so Maya needs to just do a little bit more fundraising here.
With finding Cure 2, Cure 3, and Cure 4 at the same level, the value of that White Mage just went down. Pretty affordable solo shields if he chose to buy one. I mean, he could sell off the Opal Gauntlet and the Opal Shield for some quick.
Yeah, a hell of a lot better than Dragon Warrior Randomizer, that's for sure.
I still say that FF1 could use some more swamp.
Is Marsh Cave not enough for you?
Never. I play Zelda 2 rando. There's never enough swamp.
Thanks, Dig Shake.
Yep. The whole double Black Mage thing that Maya's got going, buying Saber might not be a bad option either. I mean, it's unlikely that the fighter's not going to be able to carry him through bosses, but, you know, just in case as an added safety. Say, Kraken decides to one-shot the gym.
think it's important to realize that, you know, having a contingency plan, even if you don't use it most of the time, will still win you games, like in the long run. There's just sometimes that you have to kill chaos with a silver hammer.
Incidentally, I do not recommend you try it. Or if you do, put on a fresh pot of coffee. You're gonna need it.
Maya discovers the rod block. ichBinmiah is just about done with. Ooh, that is a nice room to find in Ordeal.
Well, it's a nice room to find in the volcano too on Ice's side. It's big and the chests are reasonably spread out, but 3/4 of it is damage tiles. Those are just free movements. He also gets access to Agama facts if he wants to get a bit of XP. Since we know that they're only going to cast heat and not hit very hard, they're a solid option to gain some early levels if you're looking.
We had a brief Ordeal sighting on Maya's side, but besides, not right now.
Well, access to Ordeals is locked behind the crown, so he can't enter it right now.
Ah, yeah, that's right. It's the vanilla settings.
Yep.
Which no one realizes until you shuffle things around.
Yep. Well, Sarda and the old men in Crescent Lake will give you their items for free. You do need the crown to get into it.
Maya gets the FFR special on the Manticores and runs away after killing 3 of them.
So that just doesn't happen only to me.
It's tradition.
Kind of like needing 28 baits to take down Tiamat.
Excuse me, it was 29.
Oh right, sorry.
You're shortchanging me here.
Oh, that's okay. I get whittled down from 600 HP due to stun touch at level 30. In 1 HP increments.
I think about the worst luck that I've seen with something like that was poor Braxis dying to a poison pick in the Chaos Rush mode when he had 1 enemy left in the what was it, the alternate final boss.
Oh, that's just rude.
Yeah, it just gets punched for the exact amount of damage to tick down at the end of the turn. It felt so bad. Alright, and Ice is gonna, learn as much as he can about the Agamas.
So by running a 4-man party, he's now at 37 minutes, and he's only level 11.
Oh, and Lit 3 at level 8, so we will bid farewell to that nice spell.
Definitely the best of the non-nuke damage spell.
Yeah, Ice 3 doing a little bit more damage, but Lit 3 just works so well against all of the enemies with respect to their defense.
Exactly. It'll pierce aquatic enemies' weaknesses, but very few enemies in the game actually resist.
And there's the TFC floor, another wonderful floor with spread out chests and a feeling of regret once you open all of them.
So what do? Do you bother going to the west side, or do you just beeline the stairs and grab one or two chests on the way?
It depends on the flag set. If I don't have the key, I'll ignore this top chest that Maya's headed to entirely, but usually just grabbing one or two on the way to the stairs.
So it is a nasty floor. Well, pretty much anything that is ghost territory is a nasty floor in my book.
Yeah, and I think with vanilla settings, it's about over 40% unrunnable chance on this floor. So just do not want to spend a lot of time here.
Speaking of ghosts.
Yeah, there's Harm 4 and Fire 3, but you better get a real good turn order.
Or have them miss you 3 times, I guess that works too.
Yeah, I mean, nearsighted ghosts are fine. iCiceblue finding Sarda, so, I don't know, enjoy your 30 gold. Oh, never mind. So, is that all 3 ribbons?
That is all 3 ribbons on Ice's side, yeah. So we found a free one early. I believe it was Matoya's. The other one was an ice cave. And now this one at Sarda's Castle of Mutants. Ordeals is one of those places that you don't necessarily check early when it comes to entrance trouble, just because it's so far out of the way. And there are so many other places that you can quickly.
Yeah, it's weird. With entrance shuffle, a lot of times it's one of the last places you check. As iCiceblue, the one ribbonless fighter gets correct. But if you're stuck on the ship, it somehow ends up being in like the middle of the locations that you check. So kind of interesting.
Oh, Maya making me cry by running away from all that delicious experience. The Gersh sharks and the big eyes they're always worth it. They are so much XP.
iCiceblue, meanwhile, showing off his armor to the Tyro before running away. Thanks, buddy.
Got Chad asking what this tournament is. It's a different format where it's a best of 3, where racers alternate in picking the flags for the match out of a preset set of options. I'll be throwing up a link in a second.
Wasn't Glass Joe, Gabby J's only victory. I don't necessarily disagree with your assessment there, but...
Well, you see, I look at it this way. One of them's from the NES era, and in all its 8-bit glory, and the other one is from the SNES era, which, while good, is not as... I do believe you're correct in that Glass Joe is the only victory of Gabby J.
But it is Punch-Out lore, and of course it doesn't make any sense. Alright, so Ice is deciding to dig out this floor, and even though this floor takes a long time to dig out, it feels pretty good encounter-wise. Just there's a lot of experience to be had here.
There's honestly not a bad encounter XP-wise in all of Mirage and Sky. A couple of nasty ones, just in terms of time investment or how you can deal with them. We talked about the Madcap Medusa one, that would be one. And the Medusa and Saber-Toothed Tiger in Mirage would be my other choice of good encounters that you don't necessarily want to take.
Yeah, I agree. I think the nice thing about the star-shaped floor is it's well suited to a two-man strategy, just because of how the groups line up. There really aren't any of the man-cat monstrosities like there are one floor up. It's usually 4 max and 2 turns with 2 physical dealers.
Yeah, exactly. The Chimera is one that you're kind of mildly annoyed to see. It's the worst encounter on the floor. But I mean, it's still a decent experience for very little time.
And so Maya is going to do some river rafting up to the waterfall area, while Ice continues to dig out this side of the Sea Shrine split. And I don't believe we've seen the Marsh split yet.
We have not. Have we even seen one floor of the Marsh Cave yet? I don't remember seeing one.
Actually, that's a good point. Yeah, the Marsh Cave being very underrepresented so far.
Oh Maya, don't do it.
And Ice decides to save his ill-gotten gains and run over to that side of the split again. Maya finds Sky 1, so... and immediately checks out the most annoying chest to get.
Good old reset chest. That's one of those floors that you don't want to be spending too much time on. Unlike Sky 2F and 3F, it has a very nasty encounter in the form of bad men.
Yeah, just a lot of empty calories with a lot of damage being dealt from them. And there's the bridge, so Ice is ready to go.
Oh, Sun Sword and a Pro Ring on Maya's side, and a nice chunk of change in the form of Katana.
Yeah, with weapon fixes off, Sunsword, perfectly good sword to finish the game with.
Absolutely. I mean, even Ice Sword or Light Axe are good enough. They're not ideal, but they're definitely good enough if you've got access to that.
Got a question in chat. Is this an entrance rando? It sure is. That is one of the options for the map configuration in this Highlander tournament, and Maya just decided to make IceBlue deal with the fun of entrance randomizing.
Speaking of IceBlue, he just picked up the Master in the Mirage second.
Well, that is certainly an upgrade. And yep, there you go. Enjoy your light act. There it is. So in the Sea Shrine split is the Marsh split, and well, at least it's nice that the humongous dungeon lands later in the sea as opposed to early. And there is the cube block, and there is that Sabertooth encounter that is so much fun to deal with.
It is a lot of XP though, but it's pretty annoying. The Sabertooth having a pretty decent crit rate, so their melee attack can be surprisingly punishing.
This is that's not a fun group to run into either, but Ice is going to get away from the first one.
And level 15 is not ideal, but it's still a decent amount of defense against those on-hit status.
Just not going to take any chances with this blue dragon and nuke him down there.
I mean, you know what's coming. He's got forecasts of thunder. And behind the cube block we find the waterfall, leading to a grand total of 6 items that are most definitely not worth it.
Yeah, but you get to hang out with a robot. Can you really put a price on that?
That's true.
I mean, as long as the robot's not, like, coded in Python or something.
Well, hopefully it's not Bender.
You just wake up outside the dungeon with no money.
With no money and an inventory full of horrible.
And Maya finding Kraken and decides, no, not right now.
Well, that's a bit surprising, because, well, maybe he just wanted to recharge his spells, because he's going back at it again.
Yeah, definitely was pretty free with the nukes exploring this floor, so yeah, I guess recharging those spell charges, pretty good idea.
I mean, he's reaching the level that we finished the vanilla run at, and he's got a lot more resources, so he should be fine. Armor might be a bit lacking though, but the nukes should make up for it.
Alright, and in all of these chests, IceBlue finds
Oh,
loot. Well now.
Well, just a reminder, folks, the NPCs are not incentivized. That cube bot was just another random item.
So pretty big advantage for ichBinmiah so far. Still needs to find that key, but yeah, the loot, one of the more annoying loose items to find. Nice to get that out of the way early.
Absolutely. And the only thing ichBinmiah's missing is the key, and after that he can just collect his 4 orbs and go kill Chaos. With 3 ribbons, a massa, spell selection he's got, he's already loaded for bear, so it's really just find the key and go.
And Kraken doing what Kraken does best against an unarmored target. Down goes that white mage.
Saves Maya the trouble of danning her later. I guess she didn't send enough thoughts and prayers.
No, I mean the prey total is 0. You can look at that right now.
She definitely was about as useful as the prey command in FF4.
Alright, and now ichBinmiah is digging out this floor, which is terrible.
I think one of those should forever be known as the Power Gauntlet room.
I think it was the left side.
I don't know, I never went there. Oh, Ice picking up class change on the right side. We have seen Bahamut. I can't recall for the life of me where it was, but I do remember seeing the room somewhere.
And I think, did we find Opal armor at some point?
I don't remember seeing it, no. We did find Opal and Aegis shields. We do have both robes, so that would save him the trouble of having to purchase some gold bracelets.
Yeah, definitely would be useful to find, although with the Masmian, I think you can get the job done even with steel armor. But it sure would be nice to find at least Flamer Ice.
Unfortunately for Ice, there isn't that much in early white magic. He would have access to Ruse on his knights, which is so very vanilla. But outside of that, can't really say that the class change is that much more useful to him than just keeping on and going to kill Chaos without class.
Yeah, in Maya's shoes, not having the Masmian is definitely a more attractive option right now.
Absolutely, especially since he has one of those Excaliburs that has been taunting him for the entire run.
And it always feels bad when you decide to take the sequence break, link chest, and then this floor is the next one.
How could you know, though?
Exactly.
That is absolutely correct, though. It is a sequence break, because that chest is never considered in logic. It's not considered as being part of March B2. If you ever come across it somewhere, you'll never have your next step of progression in that chest.
Alright, meanwhile, Maya finding another fiend and taking down Carrie in relatively short order.
Well, he's about to go collect his second ribbon. Well, iCiceBlue's gonna give us a look at Lefang. iCiceblue hitting 21, I mean that's a very comfortable level to just being in all-out go mode.
Yeah, he's been doing a pretty good job, I think, other than, you know, a few encounters, picking some encounters to get very quick experience on. And, yeah, this is another annoying floor to run into, and another annoying encounter.
Yep. Both runners have been doing a pretty decent job, actually. A couple of questionable decisions on both sides, but we'll see how it plays out. Example being resetting Ice Sword on iCiceBlue's side, but I mean, no big mistakes or anything like that from either run. Still a bit hard to say who's in the lead, though. Maya's definitely got the Fiend lead, but as we all know, Fiends don't really take that long to kill.
And Maya digs out the TNT as well, so...
I fully expect we're going to see both runners enter Temple Fiends at roughly the same time, like within 5 minutes of each other tops.
Yeah, it seems like the Fiend lead is kind of balanced out by Ice's exploration lead, and I mean, Ice has a Vorpal now too, so
and expressing his pleasure at the top of his stream.
I mean, just equip it, Chaos will kill himself laughing. Just with weapon fixes off, just go get a Cat Claw.
And even with it on.
Oh, there's number 4.
Oh, delicious XP pinata on iCiceBlue's side.
Ooh. Well, he's got the gear for it. Just
you should be nuking him, because he's gonna nuke you in about 2 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, I understand stacking the evasion, but I think you can definitely get that HP down fast enough. Maya skipping out on some delicious nachos. Guess they were left out too long.
I mean, even leftover nachos are still pretty good. And the XP Pinata gifts iCiceblue with 3 levels on all of his party members.
Well, there's the 5th hit with the Mazmoon, so I would say he is more than ready to tackle Temple of Fiends at this point.
Level-wise, I definitely agree with you. He still needs some armor, though. He needs to go shopping for some steel if he doesn't pick up an ice or a flame armor. Because silver armors ain't gonna cut it.
Yeah, and it's one of those things, even gold bracelet doesn't feel so good.
I mean, a common misconception is thinking that silver armor is better than iron. It's really not.
Yeah, unless you are banking on dodging a nasty on-hit attack like these Death Touch sorcerers. But even then, you'd be better off just equipping the armor.
Yeah. And I mean, just by virtue of being level 24 fighter, almost immune to it already.
Alright, I know Breakfast was for sale. Better see some Breck strats here.
The count to beat is, what was it, 28?
29.
29, right. Sorry, I was short again.
Well, he's, it looks like a more conventional setup here. Just, a fast on the Masmute holder. And, Maya is about to find, Fiend number 3, so... Just where is that loot and where's that key?
Well, we know the loot was on the cute bot. That was, I don't remember where the waterfall was. It is so hard to keep track of 2 people at, like, every entrance.
Yeah, I think it might have been in the long dungeon with the C-split.
I believe that was the Masmune dungeon, the one with Mirage to it.
I think C-split also led to Marsh split, so it was a fairly large dungeon. When in doubt, just pick the largest dungeon and say everything's there.
Pretty much. Yeah, the Entrance Shuffle has a knack for generating infinite dungeons. And then make sure that Exit and Warp are at level 8.
So Mirage has sat untouched for this long. We'll see what ichBinmiah finds there.
I believe this is the only place we haven't dug out, so I mean, I'm expecting to find a key in here.
Have you dug out the Honorak dungeon? I don't know if anyone found Oxio.
And look at me being proven wrong by finding Bahamut in the Mirage Tower.
Ring doorbell for class promotion.
And Maya taking on his XP and saying, no, I'm not even gonna bother.
A little bit scarier when you are swinging the Sun Sword instead of a Masmute.
With 3 party members instead of 2 that can die to nuclear. Yeah, I can see why he would want to risk it.
It just means all the experience goes into the knight, right? Perfect.
Well, I agree with that logic, but some people like leveling up more than just a ginger.
Oh wow, nasty thunder, and that is gonna put Maya a bit on the back foot here.
Yeah, Ice had an easier time, mostly because of his 3 ribbons and 2 knights. Mages without a ribbon are gonna take a ton of damage from elemental.
All right, black shirt time. And there's 200 damage from poison. Oh gosh.
Maya might be in a bit of trouble now.
Yeah, this is not looking so good.
Good news for him is weapon fixers are off.
Yeah, and with fast, definitely.
I mean, TMI only has around 150 health left, so it's definitely possible. Well, there you go.
Oh, it's the slimmest of margins, 22 health. And hey, now the fighter gets all the experience. So ichBinmiah is in the right spot to find another Fiend. So that 3-to-1 Fiend lead is going to equalize pretty quickly.
ichBinmiah definitely looking ahead on the level front.
Yeah, still taking fights. You feel pretty comfortable against 100% bosses at level 24, but there's no shame in taking a couple extra safety levels. Temple of Fiends can always be Temple of Fiends.
I mean, even by finding the key, Ice really needs to get himself some armor. The gear he has right now just isn't going to cut it for an entire ton of feet.
The well-armored mages looking smug in their white and black shirts while they're still lugging around silver armor.
Maybe he's trying to distract mobs with the shininess of it all, I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's definitely, the steel armor is a bit underrated. I know it's expensive, but the price that you pay in gold will save you time in healing the earlier you get it, so it's a pretty good investment if you can afford it anytime during this.
Absolutely. It comes with a hefty evasion penalty, but I mean, it's an evasion penalty. You can't trust evade anyway. And 3 stacks of ruse is still going to make you unhittable.
Yeah, it's an evasion penalty on the knight. It just doesn't seem to be relevant.
You just really don't care at all. And it's a shop item that has as much defense as the flame ice armor, which is the best armor that a fighter can wear.
And so Maya is going to take down Lich fairly effectively. ichBinmiah going to take out Kraken without too much effort, I would say. And yeah, the orb lead in Maya's favor for now, but he needs to find the key and the loot in a hurry. And going back to revisit a dungeon that no one has dug out the lower floor of. And we'll see if anything good is here.
Well, Maya picks up the crown / another mushroom in Elfin Cap. Don't think Ice turned that in. Actually, you never even picked it up. Alright.
Yeah, both runners did not check the next floor of this dungeon and just took off as soon as they got Canoe Floater. And Maya may be dropping that crown off right now, but I gotta dig this floor out first. And there is Fiend number 3 coming soon for iCiceblue, so he is just on a little bit of a tear here, catching up to Maya pretty quick. Ice, come on, leave the poor lizard alone. You're like level 26 already. Oh, into the carry fight, and this should be pretty quick. Yeah, especially with the 206 coming from the Sun Sword. Yeah, no boosts needed at all. And Ice headed straight for Earth. Has to wonder, is that one chest he left behind, is that gonna be the one that trips him up? And we've definitely been there before. It gets in your head when you haven't checked that. But after this eye, he'll find it. Nope, just 617 gold. Take one step on the overworld to get 7 shadows, and 90. The 90 rated ambush rate. You are not going to go anywhere for 7 swing. Yeah, Ice just really wants to dig out that key. That's all that he is missing right now. He knows where Lich is, and that is a pretty trivial fight. Maya, meanwhile, will pick up the Mazmune finally, so that is very, very nice sight. Does not have to worry about promoting at all. It throws it right on the white mage for 2 damage dealing. Yeah, Ice looks like he's a little bit lost. Gets down to Matoya's again and resets. I think he knows he hasn't checked the bottom of a couple of dungeons, but is not quite sure where they're hanging out. But TNT is also a drop-off option, I believe. And there's the Exco.
I was just reconsidering the flags for a minute, and the turn-in for key items is actually vanilla, so Astos holds the keychain. All Maya has to do is turn in that crown.
Still needs to find Waterfall for that robot loot, but yeah, Maya's in good shape, and just there's the waterfall.
There's the waterfall. Maya's about to loot that loot.
And I do not remember where Northwest Castle is hanging out. But if it's in the Onrak dungeon, then they have to dig out a loose Oxyel to find it. A loose bottle.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing Astos' castle either. We know Elflin is in Temple of Fiends. We've seen Matoya fairly early on, but I don't remember seeing Astos either.
Have we seen the purchasable item yet?
No. And I didn't see either runner check the caravan for it, which would be the next logical step.
So if it would be purchasable bottle into Oxyel to get access to Northwest Castle. Maya looked at the caravan. Chat confirms that.
Right. So it's possible that it's the appropriately placed bottle in on rack for maximum control.
And ichBinmiah is going to pick up the crown. So no purchasable item, it appears. So. Where are we going from here? ichBinmiah kind of deep into the old think tank right now. The gears are running as fast as the propellers on that airship. And I think Ice, that is another dungeon that the bottom floor has not been checked out on, so.
Well, Ice making his way for his disappointment on the western side of the best floor in Siege. I wonder if he doesn't realize that he might be going already.
Still needs to find Astos. If Astos is bottle locked, then definitely needs to keep digging chests out. But at least we know it won't end up in TFC.
One day it will. One day. Don't you just love it when you find everything except that one key item? And you have TFC nagging at the back of your head to go check everything.
And is Ice just gonna leave the flame armor behind?
Apparently. Can't say I agree with that one at all.
I suppose this makes sense if he's just committed to opening every chest at this point, because he's just gonna get the dragon armor and the opal anyway, but that seems highly pessimistic on his part.
I don't know, maybe... I know he hasn't played in a while, so maybe he's mixing up silver and steel?
Okay, well, there's a gold bracelet. Which
That is also left behind. It's... yeah, chat making a good point. Gold is better than silver by quite a large margin, actually.
Oh, there's a marsh cave, so more marsh cave to go, and I don't know. Maybe iCiceblue is just doing the silver challenge. He finds more silver armor. He's gonna take the shield, though.
Yeah, who needs close to 30 absorb when you can just get an extra 8 out of the shield? He's definitely looking good on the level front though, with that 25.
And there's the defense sword, so there's ruse on a stick.
Not quite as useful as it could be, because ruse was night castable, but I mean, still in a...
And the Bane sword, so with no key, no chance to dig out the rest of those.
I am really surprised that we haven't seen them dig out Cardia earlier than they...
Well, maybe it's an Ordeals, you got the crown now.
We're definitely gonna find something in Ordeals anyway.
And this is definitely where iCiblue's exploration advantage is paying off right now. It's
Absolutely.
It's gonna feel like a full clear seed for both of them by the end of this.
Oh, definitely. But I mean, I'm getting annoying with this, but if iCiceblue doesn't fix his armor situation, it doesn't matter if he gets to over 2 minutes. He's gonna be in trouble if all he's wearing is silver armor. iCiceblue running into one of the best encounters in the game, but his level advantage makes trans not really that much of an issue.
Alright, so chest number 1, there's the bottle.
And he leaves another armor! What are you doing, iCiceblue? Oh, you're gonna make me cry.
The silver challenge. No dragon armor, no opal. I'll be highly amused if this leads to the rod. Just throw another wrinkle into this. And here, take this crystal and enjoy this long fetch quest.
I never see Maya following in Ice's footsteps, just about 4 to 5 minutes behind him. So he's gonna dig down into this dungeon and make his way to Ordeals to pick up his ball. So both runners reasonably on even footings. Maya's slightly behind, but he does have a massive armor advantage over iCiceblue that is going to run into some trouble with Topher mods and feeds.
So there's the herb. Time for the next part of the trip, and yeah, all of those experience boosts. You don't get them until the end of the game. Enjoy.
You can still get a couple of levels off of Temple of Fiends.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Don't leave the Germaduces behind or the worms.
On the other hand, you are almost level 30, or you are level 30. No, 27. Alright. So, level 27 going into Temple of Fiends, that's quite a bit higher than we would usually be going down to.
Yeah, especially with respect to the vanilla scaling, so I should still be in good shape, but
I am still very worried about his armor situation, but
didn't have to be this hard. And I don't know. Nope, not gonna check the incentive chest, so he's gonna miss out on that opal and dragon armor sitting next to each other. That's the way it always works. When you don't check them, there's something good, and when you check them, it is a house and it screws up your inventory.
every time.
and Ice making pretty quick work of the Earth Floor here.
For his Black Mage's sake, I hope he heals up first. He's got a 50% chance of being nuked in the face.
I mean, even if you heal the Black Mage up, he's still gonna die. That's what mages do in Temple of Fiends, they die.
Well, those levels pay off, and the mages resist while the fighters need a full damage. That is going to cost them quite a bit of resources, though.
Maya picks up his defense sword, will soon pick up his Bane sword, and I don't know, probably be very unhappy with no buff. Maya throwing out the Sun Sword, and somewhere a Red Mage sheds a tear. Gary landing a pretty good punch on the Black Mage, but not enough to take them down. And onto this really, really fun.
Yeah, if he hasn't been tracking encounters and it doesn't line up, this could be trouble. He makes it more than halfway through now, so... Well, never mind, here's 5 waters that are gonna hit him like truck.
Black shirt, or Nuke. Ice 3 on the same level as Nuke.
Well, he skillfully manages to get the casts off before the waters attack him.
Yeah, good turnover manipulation.
Yep.
The lead knight hitting 29, which means another one of these forced battles, and there'll be an extra hit for the Excal. Right, time to put the silver armor to the test.
Well, with damage like that, Kraken's not going to be doing a lot, especially if he chooses to cast a weak spell instead of hitting.
And, yep, doesn't, feels great to get lit too.
Oh yeah. At this point of the game, anything that's a cast is pretty much a free round. Not quite as true with vanilla spell lists compared to, say, randomized stats and randomized spells.
Yeah. 7 for 695. That is gonna put the Fiend in the grave, and just Tiamat and Chaos left. Maya, meanwhile, kind of spinning his wheels at this point, still looking to dig out that bottle.
Unfortunately for Maya, he's heading in the wrong direction. He's gonna pick up a ribbon off of this. We know that he needs to go to Ordeals.
Big rolls on the damage from Thunder, but also big damage rolls from the party, so it should be a pretty quick fight.
I wish I had those kinds of damage rolls on Fade and Nuke.
Can we turn off magic fixes?
It would be nice, wouldn't it?
Or at least just get a temper for casters, improve the accuracy of damage spell.
Oh, I'll just use intellect for something. Alright, 4 is the magic number. Are we going to see a cure for shame on iCiceblue?
Well, that's a pretty good start. There's the lead off Ice 3.
At this point, there's no way that Ice is going to lose. It's just a question of, is he going to waste about 20 seconds on getting a cure?
There's a good portion of the damage already done. There's another spell coming out.
That should do it.
Yeah, a lot of damage going in.
And there we have it. Get your GGs in chat for iCiceblue. That finishes with a time of 140 and 32 seconds.
Completes the Silver Armor Challenge.
Yeah, those habits are gonna bite him at some point.
And we're joined now by Ice. GG.
GG.
GG, mate.
Yeah, congratulations on your successful completion of the Silver Armor Challenge.
It's very light and comfortable. Duh.
I mean, so is Cloth.
No, that's not comfortable.
What kind of cloth are you getting, man?
Well, he's one of those bracelet wearers. You don't need a robe or clothing or anything. All you need to do is wear a bracelet. You're fine.
Yo, bracelet's gonna protect me against sword stabs, alright? You just don't even know. So how about that Gaia?
Yeah, just had to really collect pretty much everything except the rod to finish this.
Well, that Gaia dungeon was, pretty bad. Like, double
Yeah,
fork. Double
both
fork.
branches.
Yeah, double forks, and the loot was at the very bottom in the waterfall. Like, that's gross. And, I played myself by, after I grabbed the canoe and floater, I was like, ain't nothing left in here.
Yeah, and that got Maya as well. You both took off as soon as you got those, and I mean, pretty good decision most of the time. But of course, one floor deeper, there's the item you're looking for.
I was just scared of encounters, and I just wanted to get that canoe and floater out of there.
So, I have to ask, super duper early on, you found an ice sword and you reset out of it instead of walking it out about 10 steps. Why did you do that?
10 steps? It wasn't 10 steps.
Yeah, maybe 20.
I was like level 5, 6? And it's vanilla, so volcano encounters, and my luck I would have gotten the Cerberus encounter, or Cerebus encounter, and they would have been like, wiped. It's okay. I had a silver axe. I had a great axe in my inventory, the greatest axe, and a silver sword. We were good. It's one thing I do like about these flags. It throws these non-believers of the Mazmune to the floor, thinking your Vorpal Blade's good.
Well, I was kind of disappointed to not see you toss it into the volcano this time, but
I felt behind. Otherwise, I would.
that's fair. I am fairly happy that you didn't equip that piece of trash onto it.
Well, weapon fixes us off, so it's literally no more, like, no better than a silver sword.
And Maya is just about to pick up his bottle right now. So yeah, crown locked bottle thanks to the flag.
I thought about exiting after finding the bottle, but I didn't.
Yeah, you had to not pick up the ice armor too. That was important.
Yeah, it was too cold. I didn't have any gloves on.
But then the flame armor was warm and inviting, and you still left that one behind too.
Those burned my fingers. Told you, I like my silver armor. It's nice and light, a lot of evasion.
And there's the Oxio, and Maya is now probably grumbling to himself.
I was definitely grumbling to myself.
Well, I was pretty close to 100% chest completion on your part.
Yeah. The only thing I didn't check behind was Canaria Locto for chests, and what was behind the rod.
And dwarf, pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't check those either.
And don't forget TFC.
I was hoping it would have been something in TFC, but we didn't find the key early enough.
So, now that it's your turn to pick flags next time, do you have any idea what you're going to be going for?
I should give him the most vanilla run ever. 1 times XP, just vanilla flags. I don't know.
It's gonna be very interesting to see like what category is the most vetoed one as the tournament progresses. I think the experience total might be up there.
The moment he said low XP, I thought about doing 1 times. But I was like, nah, I know we're on a time schedule and I don't want to make this a lot longer than it needs to be.
Well, with bonus XP per key item, I mean, even at vanilla XP, it's not that much longer. I mean, they stack up really quick.
You have to remember that Cyclone rolled this. So key items were going to be in very awful locations.
We were not disappointed on that one.
And there's the key for Maya, so he is ready to go for his Topher Head.
I'm really looking forward to an entrance shuffle with vanilla spells. Because not having access to god magic really early might throw a wrench in some people's plans.
That would be exceptionally entertaining, and I would love to see people like voluntarily pick thieves just for that.
And on the plus side, they do have guaranteed temper. Assuming they live that long.
And those are the kind of flags that we watch, not play. We let crazy folk like Sho and Zar run those kinds of seeds.
Yeah, at least until you have to play them.
Hey, I have it. I have at least one veto. I can I can cancel something.
So yeah, other than the near full clear, how'd you feel the seed went?
It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Other than getting the unthinkable rub down trying to dive Ice Cave numerous times, I think I played it pretty well. I was absolutely afraid of that war mech encounter that I got on the bridge, and then right after that I got sorcerer encounter. I was like, oh god, please no death touch.
Maya just gonna help himself to some nice experience from these Germadusas now that he has the XP bonus. What else are you gonna use those Fire 3s for anyway?
I thought about taking that encounter.
Yeah, were you shooting for 24, kind of for the fifth hit of the Masby?
I mean, I was expecting just to get it throughout the entire race, just off the encounters, but when I got the war mech, it immediately jumped me up there, so I took encounters that I didn't have to take afterwards, but we did good.
I think Maya just equipped the Bane sword, so this ought to be an interesting fight.
He definitely did not equip the Masbian that he was expecting, though.
Oh, this could be bad if the Fire 3s kill. No, that's not gonna happen. Oh, wow.
Well, the good news for Maya is there is no other damage spell following up, so he's fine, but... Bane Sword's gonna be a slog.
Yep, time to check that out. Okay, moved up. Just up one. Going with the meat shield strategy, and apparently the Agamas were happy to oblige.
I was a little confused from Elfland when I saw that, you know, they had Cure 2, Cure 3, and Cure 4, and Cure 2 was a steal of a price of like 100 gold cheaper than Cure 4. Had to sit there and consider my options.
It does feel bad. It's like, oh great, well so much for cheap heals on the rest of the level. What am I gonna do, cast A fire?
No, you gotta cast A mute.
A mute after silence. Yeah, Maya's still fighting this one out. Should be in pretty good shape to finish this out. It just remains to be seen what kind of nonsense Kraken is up to today.
Thankfully, no tickling happened.
Yeah, it was just a couple of lit twos, right?
Yep.
Yeah, you got off pretty easy on that one. So even with his regular stats, Kraken is still very much capable of one-shotting a fully decked out.
Maya into the Kraken fight now after some preparation and just going for the all-out strategy. Can't really blame him for doing that. Kraken can't one-shot you if he doesn't get a turn.
Did he buy fast?
He did, but just elected for double nuke instead. Double nuke and fade. Yeah, you can't skip breakfast. It's the most important meal of the day.
Yeah, I prefer to eat fast brack.
Wasn't that like a Reese's candy bar or something?
Something like that.
Alright. Unfortunately, we do have some people waiting for the channel right now. A rather large the fast race is coming up. So we are going to have to wrap this up here. Unfortunately, not going to have time to speak to Maya or watch him kill Chaos. But I mean, if you enjoyed what you saw, do give these runners a follow. And keep your eyes open for match 2 between these two racers. Any final thoughts before we kick this over to the Zelda 3 crew?
No, not at all. I look forward to paying back Maya in spades for the entrance floor shuffle.
Well, on that note, GG's to you again, Ice, and hope you lot enjoyed the show.
Yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. Stay tuned.